December 16th, 1944. German tanks roll into the Ardennes forest of Belgium.
And at that point, the heavens open up and all hell breaks loose.
The next lane we came to, there is the only Tiger tank I ever saw.
They attack American lines in one last desperate attempt to change the course of the war.
And it started in one fell swoop, and we chased away the Americans. They dropped everything and ran away.
The Americans respond with one of the biggest and most daring armored counterattacks in the history of tank warfare.
There's tanks being hit, bang, 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 all over the place.
At stake is the fate of Western Europe. This is the Battle of the Bulge.
Now it's a matter of survival.
Concerned that Bastogne will be encircled, Allied command orders General George Patton's Third Army to the rescue. Patton's forces are in France, 260 kilometers away. He orders an immediate mass movement of 3 divisions north to Bastogne. At the spearhead are 127 tanks of the 4th Armored Division.
And about 8:30 that night, I was told to be ready to move. Almost halfway to Bastogne, and we reached a place called Ardennes. And by the time we reached the bridge, it was getting late in the afternoon. The bridge was blown. The river was cold, raging. In no way could the tanks ford them, so we had to stop and put in a bridge. Now, our tanks were firing at the enemy across the river, and they was firing at us. So once we felt it was safe enough, the engineers came in and we put in the bridge, mostly under cover of darkness. And our tanks started crossing the bridge. One tank, one tank, one tank. And then we were ready to rest for the night. I got word, no, keep moving. Patton said, I want them to move. Now here were the exhausted men. Now they were told to fight all night. And finally, at about first light, we reached the outskirts of Chaumont. Suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, came a shot. I saw 3 Jeeps from the 25th Cavalry hit. I immediately stopped my force. They must be down there in strength. I think I've got to have a planned operation.
It's a pincer maneuver that splits his force into 3 units. The tanks of C Company will attack from the west, while A Company attacks from the ridge east of the village. With his flanks protected, Erzik will drive his B Company down the main road and right into the center of Chaumont.
Now, if I were at Fort Knox, Kentucky, taking a tactics course, I probably would have gotten an A for my plan. But as you know, in combat, there are imponderables of the battlefield. C Company reports to me that 5 of his tanks, its first platoon, was completely bogged down. This ground was supposed to be frozen, so right away I knew C Company was of no help. So B Company started to advance down the town. We were hitting resistance, but it was not major resistance. The 10th Armored Infantry was working with us. As we got down into town, they would go into the buildings, around the buildings where the German soldiers were. B Company gets through the town, and at that point, the heavens open up and all hell breaks loose. We're suddenly hit all at once by direct fire. Now it's a matter of survival. You just cannot describe the chaos that's there. It was a platoon of 4, Tiger Jags. There's tanks being hit, bang, 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 all over the place. B Company is downtown, and you can't turn in town, so we're very vulnerable. So I told my driver to start backing up. Now he's backing up blind. He needs some help from me. So as we moved back out, I had the turret turned. So I could see the road, and I'm directing the driver. So that means the back of the turret is toward the enemy, which makes it very, very vulnerable. And I began to breathe a little easier when it seemed like we were out of range. When suddenly, I heard this loud, screeching, horrible sound just for an instant. And the tank was pushed forward as though some sledgehammer had hit it. 128, which should have breezed through the turret like a butter knife through butter, but it must have hit the ricochet off. So I told the driver, keep going. As we were moving back, I noticed there was a seam in the tank turret with daylight showing. So I knew something had hit the turret. And we finally pulled the tank out of range. I asked myself the question, why are we still here? Why did my tank survive this battle when I had this terrible, terrible blow? Next to the antenna well was something. It was an object. And to this day, I don't know why it was there. And the only thing I can conclude is that it must have hit this appendage and ricocheted off. It was an absolute miracle that I survived that battle and I'm still here.
I led the attack that day, and Abrams joins me on position. Well, he said, I'm going to run RC Company, Bogus, and pass through you straight ahead and go to Assiniboia and try to link up with the 101st Airborne to make that final breakthrough into Bastogne.
Lieutenant Charles Bogus leads 8 Sherman tanks into the heavily defended town of Assiniboia.
Bogus led the attack through here, and he had an armored infantry company with him, and they were busy fighting Germans who were resisting, trying to mine the road, and the artillery had knocked out several half-tracks, and mortar shells had knocked out several vehicles.
The German fire is intense, but Bogus and his men push right through it and advance down the final stretch of road leading to Bastogne.
It was quite a fight, really. I could hear it all shooting up ahead of me because Abrams left me in position there at Clochemont Hill.
Bogus pushes on with 2 other tanks and reaches the outskirts of Bastogne. There he encounters the final line of German defense, and Bogus and his wingman fire 3 rounds into it. The last obstacle on the road to Bastogne is eliminated. Moments later, men of the 101st Airborne emerge from the trees.
Bogus saw what looked like American uniform and hollered, "This is 4th Armored, come on out." And hesitatingly, the Americans commenced to then showing themselves.
The siege of Bastogne is broken. But for the 4th Armored Division, the cost of relieving the town has been steep. In just 10 days of combat, over 1,000 men are killed or wounded. And they lose 28 tanks. But their efforts mark the turning point in the Battle of the Bulge. The weather clears, and for the next 21 days, American tanks, now supported by airstrikes, force the Germans out of the Ardennes.